So he says here, and now we're up to the third stage, which is
So now we're moving on to another paragraph.
fourth paragraph, Tshuva Sichlit, which we mentioned the whole book really is about Tshuva Sichlit. So the first two are really getting ourselves into a healthy state, physically, spiritually, and now once we've cleared out, all the garbage or the type of tshuva that we're used to, like getting rid of the chataim and the mistakes so we can be healthy again, we get to the highest form of tshuva, which is tshuva sichlit. He otesh kvar rachshala etativit vemunit. Generally, or to do this properly, you've already acquired, you're in a natural state with mitzvot and physically healthy. Shikfar ba l'madreg elyon, you've already got into this higher stage, that you're now ready for the next level. Asher lo rak tsar gufani, not only because I'm in pain, because I'm not healthy, o nafshi, or I don't feel good about my life, I'm not acting yashar, the ruchani, or I'm doing, against God's will with the mitzvot. V'lo rak hashpa hamasorit v'kabbalah, not just from the tochecha and the Kabbalah, to, be my impetus for doing tshuva. Imi pachad onesh, because I don't want to get, Gehenim or Roshem, Kodor, Chok, Mishpat, or what type of Roshem, the different Mishpatim of the Torah tell me, which is going to make our mind nefesh, Haba mehem el panim ha-nefesh, Gormim hem et tshuva. Those are causes that cause someone to do tshuva because I want to be in a healthy state, physically and spiritually. But this next stage is different. Kim hakara bru. We're now talking about a clear understanding. Hakara, a recognition, bura, that's clear, of what life is. Haba me'ashkafat olam, by understanding how to lashkif, to look out at the whole world, ve'hachayim, and life, hashema, completely. I'm not looking at myself anymore, or the things I'm doing wrong or unhealthy. I'm now a philosopher. I'm looking, Tshuva Sichli is like, I'm taking in the transcendental. I want to look at the world, what we're doing here, where the world is going, what are we returning to? Right? That we said tshuva comes 2,000 years before the world was created. What is this concept of tshuva and life in the world? Where were we returning to? And not just myself getting healthy, but where are we going?
Are you referring to the midrash of tshuva kadma la'olam?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I didn't say it. Tshuva was something that was created before the world. I like to say sometimes it's a midrash that Adam Rishon did an avera in Gan Eden, and he thought he couldn't do tshuva.
Right.
And Cain, who kills Hevel, his brother Hevel, right?
Yeah. He
actually teaches Adam Arishon how to do tshuva, because Adam is made out of afar. It's a little technical, but afar is like a kli cheres. A kli cheres, an earthenware vessel, doesn't have tahara and a mikveh. You can't actually fix it. It's broken. Can't get it to look the same anymore. That's the way it is. Adam thought he sinned. It's over. But God taught Cain, when Cain killed Hevel, he said to him, Teitev se'et. If you do good, you could overcome. There's such a thing as tshuva. And it didn't make sense to Adam Arishon, because Adam Arishon, the wisest of all men, named the animals, created by God himself. It's not according to the laws of nature to do tshuva. It's not. I'm broken. However, since tshuva is not according to the laws of nature, it was actually created 2,000 years before the world, it's pre-nature. It's dated pre-nature. The rules of tshuva go beyond. And we could actually rewrite history. We could fix things that are broken, because of this, supernatural power that it has, which is an amazing thing. You brought up that midrash 2,000 years before the world. Why do I care? Because it's something that is not only foundational, but has, powers that are beyond this world.
Right. That's an amazing midrash. And it's interesting. I know another midrash that says, like what you mentioned, that Adam didn't think there was an option, because it makes sense, God gives you rules, you don't keep the rules, that's it, done deal, right? That. And then Shabbat teaches him that the Shabbat itself speaks out and says that there's tshuva in the world, that you could do tshuva. And then the midrash says that's when Adam is so grateful for that chidush, and he says Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat. And he praises the Shabbat for this revelation, this amazing idea of doing tshuva. And then the next pasuk of Tov leodot LaHashem is read of the tshuva, of the Shabbat answering him, no, don't praise me. Don't say Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. It's not about me. Rather, Tov leodot LaHashem u'lezol Hashem chayrion. I was also, I'm part of God's story. Praise Hashem. And that's how the first two psukim in that Mizmor should be read.
They're from the same midrash, I believe, and there's actually, I don't know if this is true, but there's actually a Masorah of what Nigan, Adam Rishon, sang there in the river on his way out of Eden.
Oh yeah?
It is. Actually walked down to the chuppah to it. I don't know what it's called, but it's goes like. To the song of Mizmor Shel Yom HaShabbat. That's a Masorah. I'm not sure where it came from, but
we'll
it
have
could
to
be.
look into that.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. It's because I know it's a beautiful nigun. I didn't know, and I think that it's a nigun that they sing in Erev Shabbat and yeshivot.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, if it's the Erev Shabbat nigun, I did it to the bedeking to do tshuva. Well,
right.
Okay, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
We'll have to continue.
So he says here. Okay, so he says here. This finishing that paragraph off. Right, it comes from a true hashkafa of world and life. This ultimate tshuva. Asher alta lamalata is such a high level. Acharei hatafkid hatavi v'munik farash po yafe et rishumea. After someone puts in the natural status of tshuva and the muni part of tshuva, living with the mitzvahs, and they already put their roshem, he has a roshem yafe et rishumea. Made an imprint on the person. Right? It's hard. Obviously, it's hard to someone to keep all 613 mitzvot all the time and living in such a healthy status all the time. But they have the roshem. I now know what the natural state is. I have the mold for it. I'm sitting in it, and now I'm ready to open my mind up to the Tshuva Sichlit of where the world is going and what is life about, and really start to build. And I mentioned the mashal, I think last time we spoke, that if somebody wants to build a house, the first they have to get rid of, all the old trees and buildings that are in the way. That's like the first type of tshuva. We got to make a clear slate. We got to clean it up so that we can now build a house. So the first tshuva, which most of us know, which is saying sorry, Kippur, we want to get back to a natural state. But that's just clearing the floor, getting ready to build something much bigger, which is a tshuva sichlit.
Okay, excellent. So let's see what he says about it now in the next paragraph.
Okay, we're in the next paragraph. We called it the fifth paragraph. Tshuva zu haklula mikudemet includes the other ones as well. They're part of it. Himlea kfar orientates. It is already full, right? You don't have to do this by yourself. If you could tap into this tshuva, it is full of infinite light, right? I'm saying,
and it's osher, right? It's osher, like happiness, right?
I don't have that word in my version, but himlea kfar. Osher indicates, I have or indicates, light indicates. Okay, different girsa.
Okay.
We're going to see later on. I'm just going to bring you the mashal of what I'm talking about. He speaks about like tshuva is always a force that's raining down upon us. You just have to have a bucket to catch it. It's like a light that's constantly coming down. We just have to be receptacles to be able to catch it. But it's or indicates if you could tap into this type of light in tshuva.
So I want to offer an idea and see if it connects, because there's this very unique finding of the difference in the circuit in the human brain of dopamine and what makes the human unique compared to the animal. That they found that, let's say, if you have a chimpanzee, what makes a chimpanzee excited? Right, what gets the dopamine going in the brain? It's going to always and forever will be and always was a banana, mating, and maybe some aggressive fighting with another male chimp, right? And it always looks the same, right? And there's a unique human phenomenon that we have this thing where we get used to. If I give you a banana 100 days in a row, you're not going to want a banana at some point, right? Because your taste buds will want something different. Will want just a banana with some sugar, a banana with some chocolate. They'll want some
variety.
Some variety. So I'm wondering, and that I always associated to the desire to create, right? And then the fact that the yetzer is milashon yetzira. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Tov ma'od, right? The Yitzhar is called Tov ma'od.
Right. So, and bechol levavcha, shtei levavot, but in the end of the day, it's like a matter of the yetzer, and that's why we always have this desire to create. So I wonder, I might be wrong, but that if that, because you were saying that there's always this like if we have a bucket, so it's always there. So in the broader picture of this desire to create always now in the positive form of creation, there's this like it's in our brain. Like we can't control ourselves. We like always want to move forward. We always want to innovate. We always want something more gratifying, and gratification in its ideal form is obviously positive creation.
For sure.
And positive creation is that tshuva? Is that moving forward? Is that
so? I would not to get into a whole philosophy class right now outside of Rav Kook.
Yeah.
But they say one of the main, according to the Ramchal, the main reason why we came down to this world is lidamot la Hashem, to be like God. Right? God could have just given us olam haba, or given us the greatest good. If He wants to give, they say the reason God created the world was to give. Derech hatov lahitiv. So just give us olam haba, give us Gan Eden. They say, it's not as good if you don't work for it. You don't know light, dark. So create us with the ability that we're not embarrassed. There's no busha that God could just create us, without that feeling. But really, the greatest good that God could give us is to be godly. We're attached to Him, and therefore, if we would have just gotten it, we wouldn't olam haba wouldn't be like God at all. God's the creator, and we're just receivers. And therefore, we came to this world, free will, to be a balabait of our own existence, to use our free will to become similar to God, Bez Shupan, in like some type of format. And therefore, our whole purpose is here is to become similar to God. And if we think about God's greatest attribute is that He's a creator. He's the Yotzer. And therefore, like you're saying, our ability to tap into constant creativity and growth, that is becoming godly. That is our natural desire and goal here on this world, is to be creators.
Okay, excellent. And is that, we're going to have to see. I guess we'll have to check throughout the book, like how much that idea about creativity and doing good and becoming godly, like that's language we already are committed to, and where tshuva interacts with that.
Right, well, that's Ramchal language.
Right.
We'll see if it fits in with Rav Kook would be the right way to go. So he says here, we're finishing off this last paragraph. He says, this last type of tshuva, which is full of osher or, as my version has it, he bala hafech et hachatayim kulam zchuyot. We're going to turn over and change chatayim, any negative thing we do, to zchuyot, to merits. Mikol hashkiyot, from all the mistakes we made, he motzi tshuva, finds in it. It goes deep enough to find limudim, is getting great lessons that are learned that actually turn, something we did wrong. We found from it, because of our mistakes, something greater. We're able to grow from everything. Everything becomes great. Mikol hashpalot, from all the negative things that took us down, aliyot naderet, amazing, achievements, amazing climbs, because we're going to bring everything in this world up. Zoti tshuva she'enei koaleha nisuot. This is the tshuva where everyone's eyes are lifted up to, looking forward to shimuchrach lavo. And this type of tshuva will come. V'shesofo lavo. We could do it the easy way or the hard way. It's going to happen. The world is going to develop into a place where all the bad will turn into good, and we are going to get back to this place we want to get to. And it takes a great hashkafa after we're in our natural state, he said, a great outlook of life and understanding of where we're headed to, that we're going to turn all the negative things to positive things and really advance ourselves, the Jewish people, in the world. That's
why I want to give a moment to think about that last sentence, which is very powerful. And where does he get that idea that it's going to happen? It's for sure going to happen. This tshuva of everything being great and uplifted, and whether it's the osher and kitz or the or and kitz, that's going to be there. Everything is going to be ideal, and we're going to understand why all the sins are actually for our benefit and part of the progress of the world. What does that mean? That it's muchrach lavo.
I like to think of it like, we said about, Megillah Esther, or Mordecai tells Esther, this is your opportunity. The Jewish people will survive with you or without you. Right? We're going to make it through. If you're quiet, salvation will come from somewhere else. Right. And you guys are going to miss the opportunity, but it's going to happen because things can't be disconnected from God, and therefore, we say God was all one, and He created an olam perud, a world of separation down here for us to have this opportunity. Like He opened up the accordion for the different reasons that He did it, right? But it can't stay that way. Everything has to go back to be connected to God ultimately. It's just a temporary, a temporary place, as the Ramchal says in many places. We're in a temporary zone over here because things can't stay disconnected from God, or look disconnected from God. And therefore, and that is the goal of the world as well. Like we don't live forever, right? We live 120 years. That's the amount of time needed for us to achieve our what we want to accomplish here. If you live forever, people would never do tshuva. If the world would be forever, people would never do tshuva and it wouldn't reach its goal. And therefore, sometimes limitations are necessary. So therefore, the world has a limited time, and this appearance of lack and evil in this world, have a limited amount of time. Eventually, as we say in Rosh Hashanah, kulak eshen tichle, that evil will disappear like smoke. See, it wasn't even real. And therefore we have an opportunity during this period of time, which, to be part of it and to raise ourselves up and the world up, because it's going to happen one way or another. It's whether we want to be part of it. The Jewish people will return. It's whether we want to be part of it. The world will return to God. What is going to be our role in it? And that's inspiring because we want to be God's partners in this world, and we want to play an important, a crucial role for our own lives and for Hashem mainly.
Okay, I'm happy I asked that question, because you gave a good answer.
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember anywhere where he says the reason why that has to happen. It was
right. No, I don't think. I think about other sources. I think about like Matrat Tov Letiv, the Ramchal also, that it has to be for good. That's why we're here. And I think of Be'itach Ishena, like it's going to happen. The redemption, the Navi says, the redemption is going to happen. It's going to happen in its time, right? The Gemara says 6,000 years and the 7,000 years. You want the Mashiach, or are we gonna, maybe we can make it happen faster? But it's gonna happen. But your point also with being partners with Hashem and being inspired by that is.
No, my rabbi, I had a rabbi, Rav Weinberg's. That's all. He used to always say, listen, the Jewish people are going to come back. Do you want to be part of it? Like Ezra and Nehemiah, do you want to help be God's partner in helping bring back the Jewish people or not? And we're all going to come back. Take an active role, make it happen quicker. Make it do it the easy way.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Definitely. Hashem.
People could do mitzvot and not enjoy it, or you could focus. You could serve in the army. We had a conversation last night at the third meal. Someone was complaining about the tzava, like getting bossed around the army, and it's not so fun. And we all know everybody joined Tzahal because it's a great pleasure. It's a very meaningful thing. The Jewish people and their land and being part of it. But you forget it sometimes. In day to day. And you could do mitzvahs. You could take out the garbage for your mother and be like cursing her the whole time, or you could do it and enjoy the pleasure of doing the mitzvah. So the awareness of what you're doing, being aware that of the meaningful act that's being done, is an inspiration. To do it well and properly, and to grow in it, because we're in it anyway.
Right.
We're in this world, whether you like it or not, and therefore, we want to make the best out of it. You're in Tzahal, you joined up for the right reason. You want to be inspired to remember all the time why I'm doing it. If you're in this world, you want to be doing tshuva and helping the world and bring it to the right place.
Excellent.